The search must always conclude where it began. You must seek nothing outside of yourself. When we speak of the greatest swordsman in human history, the name Miyamoto Musashi stands alone. His unparalleled achievements in the art of the blade were not simply the result of some innate, natural genius. They stand as a testament, a living proof, to an unwavering, ironclad discipline. In his own writings, he confirmed this. Discipline, and discipline alone, carved his path to genuine greatness. Consider this history. Musashi's very first duel took place when he was merely 13 years old, and he won. Following that moment, he walked through more than 60 other encounters, through life and death stakes, without a single defeat. Even today, in this modern age, that record remains a historic, nearly unreachable feat. Miyamoto Musashi was far more than just the finest warrior in Japan. He was an artist, a philosopher, a profound thinker. His entire life serves as a compelling argument for the sheer necessity of self-discipline. Lacking it, we become like a rudderless ship, a vessel with no guidance, easily tossed by the quiet current of every fleeting impulse, drawn perpetually toward the empty noise of immediate gratification. Musashi viewed self-discipline not merely as a tool for accumulating achievements. For him, it was a shield, a foundational shield protecting our soul from unnecessary suffering. When we are truly disciplined, we are fully equipped. We are better prepared to handle the inevitable challenges, the unexpected shocks that life consistently throws our way. And the first lesson is the most difficult one, demanding supreme courage. Accept everything just the way it is. Musashi's existence was uncertainty incarnate, a constant, fragile flicker between the outcomes of duels and the ephemeral nature of a wandering lifestyle. To him, acceptance was never a passive act, never a surrender. It was the highest form of active discipline. It meant acknowledging the naked truth of every single moment, whether that moment was a deadly combat situation or a peaceful, quiet day of writing. This principle is not reserved solely for samurais facing mortality. It applies to every daily challenge we encounter. Picture this scenario. You are driving to an utterly crucial meeting, a meeting that could redefine your career. And suddenly, the car breaks down. What is the immediate, instinctive reaction for most of us? It is to rage, to ask, "Why is this happening to me?" To curse our bad luck. In doing so, we actively append unnecessary suffering to an already difficult situation. We create a second layer of internal tragedy right on top of objective fact. Musashi suggests a radically different approach. Instead of labeling the event as bad and spiraling into frustration, a disciplined person sees it for what it is. The car has stopped working. It needs repair. The focus immediately pivots to finding the solution, calling for the tow truck, notifying the people who are waiting, finding a path forward instead of cycling through futile exasperation. This principle aligns perfectly with Stoic philosophy. Epictetus, the great Stoic, encapsulated it in his famous quote, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This idea is both simple and profoundly deep. We cannot control what happens to us, but we retain total, absolute command over our reaction to it. Musashi also offers a powerful perspective on how we perceive events. He cautions us against labeling them as good or bad. He argues that these labels are not inherent qualities of the events themselves. They are mental constructs. They are structures that we, as observers, impose upon the objective reality. When we adopt a disciplined mindset, we free ourselves from these limiting and conditional judgments. Next is the lesson concerning the past and release. Do not regret what you have done. Guilt can be a helpful emotion. It acts like a signal flare. It alerts us when we have crossed an ethical boundary. For example, if you've spoken a careless, rude word that injured another, feeling guilty is natural, even constructive. It shows you care about the impact of your actions. It offers you a chance for immediate self-correction, but too many of us confuse the feeling of guilt with the state of regret, even though they serve wildly different functions. Guilt is useful information. Regret is a paralyzing state. It is a heavy cloud that simply hovers, consuming precious mental space, actively hindering discipline. Miyamoto Musashi never had the luxury of dwelling on what was lost. His very survival demanded unwavering focus on the absolute present moment and the actions required to keep him alive. That is why he emphasized the crucial importance of a clear mind for effective decision-making, something that regret can severely compromise. To sustain discipline, it is vital to keep our minds free from all distraction. Regret is one such fundamental distraction. Whether you have blown your life savings on a risky investment or pulled an all-nighter gaming and missed a critical class or work meeting, regret will fix none of it. Instead of getting stuck in a toxic cycle of regret, which often leads to a crippling feeling of helplessness, we must focus on taking proactive steps to remedy the situation. It is permissible to make mistakes and to learn from them. The error is allowing those mistakes to deepen into a pit of despair. Learn, improve, move forward. Be indifferent to where you live. For the master swordsman, location was always secondary to the discipline and mindset he carried within himself. Whether he was situated in a peaceful, quiet temple or a brutal, chaotic battlefield, his inner state remained completely unshaken. Many of us hold the belief that a simple change of location will magically solve all our problems, ushering in some happily ever after scenario. Musashi challenges this common, shallow notion. He urges us to understand that the key to genuine contentment is not tied to any specific geographical coordinates. It lies in our mindset. It lies in how we choose to engage with the reality of life. Happiness, at its deepest core, is an internal state of mind. A new city or a fresh start might offer a temporary lift in mood, but if you are not fundamentally content, or if you are not aligned with your life's core purpose, that initial happiness is likely to fade. Eventually, you will inevitably find yourself right back at square one. This echoes the profound words of Confucius, who said, "No matter where you go, there you are." Musashi also prepares us to face life's fundamental unpredictability. If we are truly on a path of self-improvement or seeking mastery in any field, we might very well end up in places we never saw coming. Perhaps we will find ourselves in a different country, forced to adjust to a completely new way of life, or learning to navigate unfamiliar cultures. These shifts are more than just physical relocation. They are profound tests of our mental and emotional strength. Therefore, instead of focusing solely on where we are, Musashi proposes we should consider how we are. Are we adaptable? Are we resilient? Are we committed to our core goals? These are the essential qualities that will help us thrive, no matter where life ultimately takes us. To know 10,000 things, know one well. In today's world, we are faced with an overwhelming number of potential career paths and an endless menu of options. It is common to feel drawn to multiple interests simultaneously, whether it's sports, coding, or art, leading us to perpetually dabble in various fields. Having a wide range of interests is not inherently bad. However, this often leads to what is known as the shiny object syndrome, where people jump from one new trendy idea to the next, abandoning each as soon as something else captures their attention. Musashi took the opposite path. He dedicated his entire life to the absolute mastery of the sword. Day in and day out, he trained relentlessly. It is easy to forget, however, that this very same man was an accomplished artist, a cerebral philosopher, and a master strategist. Knowing one way does not mean limiting yourself to a single, narrow pursuit. It emphasizes the foundational importance of focused discipline. It is about mastery, dedicating our full time and attention to that one core thing until we have fully mastered it. By doing so, we truly know one way. By extensively learning a skill, by experiencing the entirety of what that pursuit entails, we begin to see the underlying patterns. This ability to learn how to learn becomes the foundation that helps us learn other skills as well. In Miyamoto's case, his strategic brilliance was largely based on the patterns he learned from dueling his opponents and applying them on a much larger scale in warfare. In modern times, this can be illustrated by the resilience we gain by learning how to be adaptable in any single thing we do. It is the ability to master the process of learning itself. If you know how to study for one exam, you possess the blueprint for studying for all the rest. If you know how to adapt in one workplace, you will be able to handle any task assigned to you. But it all starts with learning the one way first. Then, and only then, can you later know 1,000. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation. Considering that Musashi was a samurai, a warrior who constantly faced life or death situations, this principle likely held profound weight in his own existence. Separations are a natural and utterly unavoidable part of the human journey. Whether it is the ultimate loss of a loved one, the need to move to a new place, or simply taking different paths in life, these moments of separation will inevitably come. For example, imagine you have to relocate to a distant city to chase a career opportunity or to follow a dream. In this case, you will be leaving behind friends and family. This is difficult. This sadness is valid. But according to Musashi, the discipline lies in managing those emotions. Acknowledge the sadness, but absolutely do not let it deter you from your chosen path. The concept of separation also extends to the material. Let's say you are intensely attached to your car or your smartphone. If these items were suddenly taken away, would you lose your fundamental sense of self? Musashi warns against such attachments. He suggests that they can become a form of emotional bondage. The discipline here is in the detachment in understanding that while you can enjoy things, they should never, for a single moment, own you emotionally. And finally, never be jealous. You might be thinking, what is the connection between jealousy and discipline? Musashi's teachings consistently target the internal barriers that prevent us from being disciplined, and jealousy is certainly one of them. Imagine you are scrolling through social media. You see a friend who has just landed a dream job or is traveling to some exotic destination. It is easy to feel a sharp pang of jealousy, the feeling that you are missing out or that you are not achieving enough. But here is the critical truth. Jealousy fundamentally distracts you. It diverts focus from your own path and your own necessary self-improvement. Ask yourself, if Musashi had spent his precious time being jealous of other swordsmen, would he have become the legendary warrior we know today? Highly unlikely. In the samurai world, where life and death were separated by the thinnest of margins, there was simply no room for such distractions. Musashi focused only on honing his own skills, perfecting his own art, understanding his own strengths and weaknesses. Jealousy would have been a catastrophic waste of the precious time and energy he needed to invest in becoming the best version of himself. And just like Musashi, you cannot afford to squander your focus or allow yourself to be distracted by what others are doing. Especially in this age of constant social media comparison, maintaining our internal discipline is more crucial than it has ever been before. So when the pull of envy tries to divert your attention, remember Musashi's unwavering focus and his total commitment to his craft. Use that single-mindedness as the fuel you need to invest in yourself and become the greatest samurai in your own chosen field.